This is the single reason why 95% of businesses fail to ever make it big. Look, I know it's a crazy statistic. And if you started out in business having dreams to one day live in a large house with sports cars on the drive, regular shopping sprees, buying designer clothes, and luxury holidays to tropical destinations, with only 5% of business owners ever scaling their business to the size where they could afford such luxuries, it could seriously make you question as to why you decided to get into business in the first place. But what's often overlooked is why the vast majority never end up growing their companies to, let's say, 7 figures or beyond. What's stopping them? What's separating the 5% of booming companies from the sea of mediocrity? Well, having helped tens of business owners transform their once struggling business into now successful 7-figure enterprises, I know what the main bottlenecks are. I know what allows some businesses to scale rapidly whilst most stall out or barely scrape by. And you might be surprised to hear that it's got nothing to do with better marketing tactics, raising more investor money, or hiring a fancier team. But actually, the ticket to exponential scalability lies in something completely different that's hidden in plain sight. It's something so mundane that it gets written off by most business owners, when actually it's something that they should be obsessing over on a daily basis. And so by the end of this video, I'm going to reveal what this secret weapon is and how to leverage it in order to 10x your growth overnight. You'll discover why systems and processes separate struggling businesses clinging to life support from meteoric 7-figure empires built to thrive. And I'll even break down a simple blueprint that you can begin to copy in order to turn your workflows into high-performance cash machines that will virtually run themselves. So make sure you listen up and watch to the very end of this video. My name is Ryan, and this is the Millionaire Entrepreneur Academy. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe, hitting the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest video releases. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, to wrap your head around why systems matter so much, you're gonna need to shift your mental model of business. So rather than you thinking that you just need to sell more or cut costs to boost profit, consider your business to be like a well-oiled machine. You know, this machine has various parts that need to smoothly work together in order to function properly, whether that's sales, marketing, operations, finance, customer service, etc. So when even one part of the machine breaks down, your business is going to grind to a halt, bleeding cash until it's fixed. But when you proactively build and maintain every aspect of the machine for scalability, it runs on its own momentum, effortlessly driving growth. This is the perfect analogy for a systems power company, a well-oiled machine designed to pump out cash on autopilot. So rather than you pushing it manually every day, your job is to simply oversee the machine, ensuring that it's operating smoothly. Then you just simply make tweaks and upgrades to optimize and increase output. So creating strong foundations and systems is like engineering a money-making machine custom built for growth from day one. And a great example of this might surprise some of you. It's actually McDonald's. McDonald's didn't get to where it is today on the back of Ronald McDonald, God bless his soul, and the success of the Happy Meal. It was their systems and processes that allowed them to scale from a single location in 1940 to one of the largest, most successful brands in the world today. Personally, I will never advocate eating McDonald's. I don't eat it and I will never eat again. But this doesn't take away what is achieved in business. Their systems are exactly the reason why you can walk into any McDonald's in the world and get the same burger, fries, and experience, no matter if you're in Kathmandu or on the Isle of Wight. They've created a machine that doesn't need to rely on the skill of a single individual to run. In fact, most of their workers are snotty-nosed, pimple-faced school leavers with no prior work or life experience, and yet they become key players in a multi-million-pound franchise. And this is largely down to the success of their systems. And so by investing in your systems and processes just like McDonald's, you too can start building a scalable empire, one that grows without you having to constantly have input in order for it to work. So let's start walking through the 5-step formula for constructing your systems-driven empire. Step one, identifying and mapping your systems. So first, you're going to need to break down your business into its core areas or departments. Yeah, this is the machine's different parts. For example, a restaurant has a front of house that hosts and serves customers, as well as a back of house that is responsible for the kitchen operations, inventory, and purchasing. An e-commerce company has departments like sales, marketing, accounting, customer services, and shipping and receiving. Similarly, an Airbnb rental business involves front of house activities such as guest communication, check-ins, villa management, hospitality services, as well as the back of house tasks like property maintenance, cleaning, inventory management, and restocking supplies. So first, you're going to need to identify and write down the 5 to 7 core areas of your company. Then within each area, you're going to have to define the key systems and workflows that power them. So really think this through. What repeatable processes do you rely on every single day for this segment of the business to operate? So using the restaurant as an example, their front of house department would include things like a sales system. So this would include like their till and order receipts, booking systems, payment processing, addressing complaints, table setup, etc. So the trick is to define all the individual systems per area, looking at it from 30,000 feet first of all, at a macro level, and then drilling down later on a micro level, getting more granular in the details. So this mapping exercise brings full clarity in what levers drive your business and where to set up scalable processes. And so for example, without a mapped out system for delivering high-level customer service or to handle customer issues, you risk inconsistent experiences, leading to the machine breaking down as customers give negative reviews and walk out the door to that of your competitors. And it's important to note that once you complete this exercise, you might identify that actually you may not have the best or the most efficient systems in place based on where you are now. And actually they might need improvement or further refining, but that's okay. But you will have the foundations that you can then build upon. So at this stage, it's really just about identifying what these individual areas or segments that make up your business are, and then defining the individual systems within those areas. Because once you begin to identify and break these systems down, you can then start to drill down into the details of how they work and then set certain standards and codes of practice for what the output should be every single time. Step 2, capture your processes. Okay, with the systems now mapped out, it's now time to open up the machine and document the steps that power each one. So let's stick with our restaurant illustration. One of the systems that we identified was the order processing system. We're going to break down exactly how that's carried out into precise steps. So the first step, the guest places order with the server. The server then enters the order into the point of sale. The kitchen staff then receive the ticket and prepare the meal. The server is then informed that the meal is ready. The server then delivers the meal to the table. When they're finished, the server then enters payment into the point of sale, the POS system, and then the customer pays the bill. So you need to write out detailed workflows just like this for each system that you mapped out. This serves two crucial purposes. Firstly, it forces you to micromanage the machine, which is your business, to stare your processes directly in the face and optimize them. And through that process, you might realize that there are slower manual steps that can actually be automated, making your business and processes more efficient. Or there might be redundant systems in place that are bogging things down. But by documenting the full workflow, you then begin to enable streamlining. Secondly, it gets them out of your head so that you can start delegating operations to your team members. Rather than trapped possessing the master blueprint in your mind, now you have a codified set of operating procedures that anyone can implement. This is powerful. Following this SOP checklist allows an untrained waiter to seamlessly execute on that table's order. So take the time to document steps of each system meticulously. It's truly the foundation of handing off scalable processes to your team. And what you can also do to make the process of documenting your systems a lot easier is utilize an app that I discovered called Scribe, which, if it's an online process, will record it using AI. It will record your actions. It will write down the descriptions. It will create the workflow and create the SOP for you so you don't have to do it manually. It's an amazing hack and it's something that everyone should be using. And just for you, I've included a link to Scribe below in the descriptions, so make sure you check it out. It's gonna save you so much time and effort, and it's really gonna help you to fast track your systemization. Step 3, document your processes. Okay, so now you've opened up the machine and you've captured the individual workflows. Now's the moment that you solidify these documented steps and turn them into consistent SOPs, which stand for standard operating procedures. Think of it like creating simple instruction guides, and the simpler these are, actually the better. They should be so simple that any teenager should be able to pick up one of these SOPs and will be able to read those instructions and know exactly how to complete that task, resulting in you being able to create a flawless replication each time in any restaurant location across the world. So use an example we use for order processing within a restaurant as an example. We then describe the exact steps and actions that need to be carried out in order to execute that task. The guest places order with the server. The server then enters the order into the point of sale. The kitchen staff then receive the ticket and prepare the meal. The server is then informed that the meal is ready. The server then delivers the meal to the table. When they're finished, the server then enters payment into the point of sale, the POS system, and then the customer pays the bill. So if we was going to break down the components of the guest placing the order with the server, it might look something like this. Step 1, server greets the guest warmly with a smile within 3 minutes of them sitting down and introducing themselves. So you might actually have a specific script that you might want your waiter or your server to say. Good evening, my name is Alex and I'm going to be your server tonight. Step 2, the server provides menus to each guest and highlights any specials or recommendations. Step 3, the server ensures the guest fully understands the menu by answering questions or clarifying the options. Example could be portion sizes or preparation methods. Step 4, the server takes the guest's order, confirming preferences or special requests. So example of this could be, would you like your burger cooked medium rare? Step 5, the server repeats back the order to the guest to confirm accuracy. Step 6, the server thanks the guest and informs them that the order is going to be with them shortly. Now, in order to optimize your SOPs and encourage excellence, there are key elements that your SOP must contain. So process goals. You must clearly define the end goal of the process within the SOP document. This ensures that every team member understands the why behind the steps, creating purpose and alignment. In this scenario, the end goal is to deliver an exceptional dining experience where every guest feels valued and that their order is accurate and they leave satisfied and eager to return. By explicitly stating the goal, you provide, firstly, clarity. Your team member knows what success looks like. Secondly, accountability, because each action can be measured against the desired outcome. And also you provide motivation, because the staff are empowered to focus on not just completing the tasks, but on achieving excellence. Always encourage your team to keep the end goal in mind as they follow the steps to ensure that they remain consistent in delivering quality whilst also being adaptable to the guest needs. Ideally, your SOP should also include key performance metrics. These are going to define measurable outcomes that are going to indicate that the process is being executed successfully. An example of this might be orders must be entered into the POS system within 2 minutes of being taken. The purpose of it is to ensure consistency and provide benchmarks for evaluating team performance. Also, in order to enhance your SOPs, it's important to reference department ownership. So assign responsibility for the process to either a specific department or a team member. Having documented systems or SOPs is pointless if they're buried away somewhere on some dusty shelf. Your team needs to be able to have open access to them, and they can't be no more than one click away at any given time. So with your business now being built upon SOP foundations, now's the time to test drive the machine. So step 4 is test and refine your systems. All right, so your draft processes are now complete. It's finally time for liftoff. Now you're probably gonna have to implement, then review, then tweak before your systems machine is cruising smoothly. So try implementing your SOPs with selected team members first. Yeah, start running the systems with a small segment of your team, not everybody. You need to provide access to the process steps online, or printouts would probably be more ideal initially. And then ask the selected staff to adhere precisely without any deviation at all for 2 full weeks or the required testing period. So these 2 weeks should provide sufficient time to be able to shine a spotlight on how bulletproof the system is or any bottlenecks that appear, and provide the clarity of the instructions given. And if it does, then that's the green light. In our restaurant example, if say a kitchen worker is confused by a prep and cooking guideline, that actually signals that revisions needed before company-wide rollout. So what you're essentially doing in this stage of the process is that you're mitigating the fallout. You know, you're treating it as a soft launch, as an opportunity to catch blind spots and give you the chance to fix them before they impact the whole of your operations. And one key thing to do is to collect feedback from your team members in order to upgrade your blueprints. So maximizing efficiency before unveiling to everyone in your team. Soon these systems will be ready for all to utilize once they're refined. Step 5 is continuously improve systems. So the 5th step is what I refer to as Kaizen. And for those that don't know, Kaizen is actually a Japanese term that literally means continuous improvement. So with your documented systems battle tested by your team, your operational processes should now hum like a world machine. But the work doesn't just stop there. You need to be continuously reviewing your systems and processes. This responsibility ideally should fall to that of your operations team or perhaps your second in command. It's going to be their duty to ensure that the systems are running smoothly and to regularly review your systems to make sure that they're fit for purpose and growth as you scale, and to identify any opportunities for optimization. And by doing this, you're going to maintain a competitive edge, and it's going to ensure that your business adapts to any changes when they happen and stays efficient over time. Therefore, upgrades must happen continuously as your business scales upwards in the coming months and years. Also, assigned system owners should audit workflows regularly, given how fast priorities shift these days. Now, that could be either biannually or annually. Biannually or annually reviews must take place in order to snuff out any inefficiencies before they suffocate cash flow. Data should drive decisions too. Pull reports on customer satisfaction ratings, sales data per rep, referral percentages, whatever. Any dipping KPIs highlight a problem in your workflows. So ensure that your operations team or whoever's in charge of operations schedules periodic reviews to assess what's working, what isn't, and what can be improved. And use data-driven management and KPIs to make informed decisions and identify areas for improvement within the business. Because this culture of constant incremental improvement means that your system will never age or break as your empire balloons over time. Okay guys, as we wrap this video up in 30 seconds or less, here's a quick recap of the 5 steps to building your systems inside your business. Map the overall systems within the business, capture your process workflows, document procedures as accessible SOPs, test and tweak via staff feedback, and continually improve as you scale. And I'm afraid guys, that's a wrap for this video. I hope it shone a spotlight on why mastering systems creation is the hidden secret to scaling your empire. And when you actually step back to architect the machine powering your operations, rather than manually pushing day to day, you engineer cash flow and growth. And that's why it's a pivotal element in order to scale your business to 7, 8, or 9-figure revenues. Now, I'd love to hear from each of you about the key takeaways that you gained through this video. And I would love to hear if there are any specific type of systems that you're going to focus on implementing first. Do you plan to map out processes yourself or outsource the documentation? So make sure you leave a comment below with your biggest light bulb moment and any questions that you may have, and I'll read and respond to every comment in order to help you guys level up. As always, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.